All right, everybody, welcome back live at Drew's House Another Edition. Hope everybody is doing okay. We are flying through the month of June, let me tell you. I'm hearing more fireworks around the neighborhood and the areas. My dogs hate that. Anyway, I'll stop complaining about the fireworks. Anyway, I'm thrilled to be joined by another great Newburyport business here. Maybe you have been to their place. Hopefully you've heard about it right downtown. Rebecca Fundis and Ben Fundis are joining us from the Screening Room in Newburyport. How's it going, guys?
It's good. How are you?
Doing good. First time on the show for you, so it's nice to meet you here, albeit virtually.
Great to be here.
So tell me a little bit about your place. First of all, what do you guys do? And second of all, when did you start it?
Yep.
So, I mean, most people know the business longer than we have. But we're running the Screening Room in downtown Newburyport on State Street. And it's a single screen independent movie theater. Both Ben and I have been in the movie business for on and off for sort of a period of 20 years. And so, yeah, this is an exciting new opportunity for us to actually run our own place and meet the community and restart after the long closure.
Yeah.
It's been weird. Ben, timing is everything. This is not exactly the best timing for a pandemic, running your own little theater, but I'll talk a little bit about this last year plus. I know it has not been fun.
Yeah, I mean, well, we started the pandemic in upstate New York, where, we originally met working at a movie theater in Rhinebeck, New York. And, things changed a bit down there, and we had different jobs at the time. That we heard from someone who was programming the theater for Andrew and Nancy, that they were still looking for a buyer, and that he encouraged us to reach out. And I think the anniversary of our first visit was a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
when we first went down and checked it out, and immediately fell in love with the space, and met Andrew, and totally loved meeting Andrew from the beginning. He's such a character, and he's really wonderful. And the process was just, we moved quickly.
It was zippy.
It was very zippy. So within a couple of months, we had purchased the business, and we were in the process of selling our house and moving everything out here to Newburyport by hook or by crook, to come and take the torch from those guys, and hope, keep carrying it as long as we can.
Yeah. So it's a legit all-in move. I mean, you picked up your life, you moved here, you started business here. And of course, tell me a little bit about, I mean, everybody knows it's like everybody with a business, it seems, has been hard hit, but it's like some have been hard hit more than others. We're talking like, my top of the list is like theaters, and whether it be a concert or a movie theater, or like your place is like the hardest hit. Even restaurants are kind of back quicker than you guys have been.
Right.
What has the last year been like?
It's been slow. It's been
very fair answer.
Originally we tried opening when the COVID numbers they had lowered after the summer. And so in the fall, we tried opening for just a period of months until they went so high. Everybody was, being careful again. And we were only getting 1 to 2 people per show, but it just felt like the right thing to do. So we closed in December. And then we basically, their theaters were pretty inventive in trying to give people different options and nothing made a lot of money, but they were just trying to sort of stay in touch with their publics. Mm-hmm. So we were doing a few of the things that a lot of indie cinemas were doing, which was offering virtual titles that people could stream from home. So we would put out maybe 6 of those a week and change 3 per week. Mm-hmm. And we were doing a lot of theater rentals, and we kept the prices really minimal to try to invite as many people as possible. And those, at their like highest moments, we could have like 5 theater rentals per week. But still, they weren't priced very high, so it wasn't a ton of money, but just something to kind of keep afloat. And then applying for aid, we got a little bit of aid from the state of Massachusetts, and we did a little campaign, and local Newburyport people and Essex County people pitched in to sort of help us pay the bills through the winter. So that we could maintain the machines, we could keep the lease on the place, and basically just kind of, like eke our way through until we were able to reopen again.
Yeah, before we had the opportunity to meet anybody in town, which was really strange because it's such a community-based type of business.
Yeah,
The rentals were great to get to meet a few people,
totally.
little bits at a time, but the support was evident right from the beginning without even really us knowing them or them knowing us. Just knowing that the screening room was going to keep going it generated a lot of support, and we felt that warmly.
Yeah,
It must make you guys almost feel like an immediate, like, okay, we belong here, part of the community, when you start getting that love back at you, right?
Yeah.
Totally. And I mean, over the winter, people wrote notes, people sent emails, they made contributions to the Resilience Fund. And all of that was so heartening, but also, I mean, since we've reopened, it's been like awesome.
Yeah.
It is so great to see people come back through the doors, and we just reopened last Friday, so it's not even a week.
Yeah.
But people are happy, and it's so obvious that they have this history with the place that is cherished, and
it's as wonderful an audience as we kind of suspected it was going to be from the start. Everyone is so happy, so friendly, and so excited. Yeah, impeccably clean, I must say. We don't have popcorn back yet, so that will likely change.
Yeah, and
it doesn't all hit the mouth.
Popcorn all over the floor. But
I was going to say, in your business, that's probably a very important thing, I would imagine. That's a big points thing.
Clean audience, yeah. The clean audience makes for happy theater owners, for sure. So.
I like that. Sounds like a T-shirt to me.
Yeah.
It's great. I think in general, people are probably going to be having. I have found just even just your local bar, Red Sox games. I'm seeing like people that have said it's just. I feel like people are maybe just not taking things for granted as much anymore, and just genuinely enjoying things. And maybe the last year, that's what it did for us.
Yeah.
Who we got? They can say hello. They can make a guest appearance.
Ben's helping him for 1 second.
Is this kids?
Our son, we just got back from a bike ride.
Oh, okay. He can say hello if he wants. It's all right. We're all 4 family shows here.
I think he's just finishing something up. It's good. He's good.
All right. Well, good appearance. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that level of not taking something for granted is something I'm kind of seeing everywhere, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Totally.
I'm glad you guys are feeling it too. That is one thing that my wife has mentioned. I'm kind of I call Newburyport my adopted kind of home. I'm from Danvers, but I do I have the job up there, and I've known so many people and so many great businesses. And that is one thing I've noticed is the businesses really rally around each other. My wife, as you guys know, has been raising some money, and so many great businesses have come through. And she's like, it's amazing how great people are if it's for the right reasons. And in the short time I've known you guys here, it feels like you guys are, one, very optimistic people. It seems like you didn't get too down on yourselves during the pandemic, which is good. I'm sure you had your moments, but maybe I'm fair in saying that. And 2, you like to be a part of things and doing the right things and going in the right direction. Do I have that right?
Yeah, that's pretty much 100% right.
Oh, totally. Yeah, we can't wait until, we're up and running for a while and we get a movie. Whenever a movie has cross appeal with another business or a social group or something, then we love to network with those other organizations, restaurants even, and do food and movie themed events. But any way that we can network with any group or business in the community, we are open to it.
Yeah.
To make it more fun.
We have an event actually coming up. Sorry, we have an event coming up with the Newburyport Documentary Film Festival, and it's about vinyl records, and so Dino Records will be involved with that too. So that's going to be a fun.
You know who my guest on next week is, don't you?
No.
No.
We got James Morris from the Newburyport Documentary Films Fest.
Oh, totally.
Oh, great.
Yeah, awesome.
Perfect.
So you had led me right into that. Right? That's what I was going to talk about. That's a pretty big event around here.
Yeah.
It must be a lot of excitement. I mean, those films come in from all over the world, and that ends up being a very big community event. Especially, I know they missed out a lot of it. They turned to screening through online last year a lot. I know, but it's a big thing around here.
Yeah.
No, we're really looking forward to participating, and we participated with the selection committee with them too. So we've been
working with James and Joanne,
watching all the films as they come in. And
all right, there's a really great one about a teeny turtle.
Oh yeah, looking forward to that.
We all fell in love with this short Havana turtle.
That's your favorite?
There are a
Oh.
few others, yeah.
We don't pick favorites.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
You mentioned. Let's go right back into the tough moments for one more second. Then we'll go. Then we'll look fully positive. I've been trying to ask a lot of these people that have kind of made it through what that moment was like. Like I remember a distinct time when the world stopped. Like I remember like watching. I think it was a basketball game, NBA, and they like literally pulled everybody off the court and the arena cleared out. And I said,
Absolutely.
"Well, I don't think I've seen that before. That's not good." And I like that's kind of like for me the night, and then the next day it was everything was down. What was that like as a business owner? Like you're starting this new business. What was that like?
Our situation was so different because I remember that exact moment, and I don't watch basketball, but I remember when they said the NBA is done, and I was like, yeah, this is all shutting down for a long time. We knew we were in for it, but we weren't business owners at the time that it began, and we trundled on just like everybody else.
Yeah, I worked from home. Oscar was home with us from school.
Yeah, both of us were working from home doing our regular jobs at the time.
Yeah.
So what was the timeline? When do you guys actually take control?
We bought the business in July during the summer. So
we saw it in June.
Yeah, it was well into the pandemic
Okay.
at that point.
But we had, at the beginning of the pandemic, I think because things shifted so much. I mean, I was working at an opera house at the time, and everything that I was doing in the office shifted to home. And then at the same time, I was trying to manage my son's school, and it was, it was tricky. And it was this moment where, not just us, but everyone around us was asking those big questions about, am I really doing what I want to be doing?
Yeah.
Am I in the right place? And so, yeah, when our friend told us about the screening room, it was weird because we hadn't been in a car to go. We hadn't been out of our own town.
Yeah, we were washing our vegetables and
yeah,
and our,
we were taking every precaution and holing up in our house for months, and then all of a sudden we were jumping in the car and bringing along a potty in case Oscar needed to go, so we could avoid bathrooms. We jumped in the car, came out here for one day, and I think all of our initial trips were like here and back in one day. Like we didn't stay anywhere.
Mm-mm.
We were
there are those who might say, what's the word? Let's call it gutsy to make the move and start a new regime. I know
felt a little like jumping off a cliff. Yeah,
totally. But it was. I mean, in the end, it was a great way to break up the monotony of the pandemic. I mean, it was just like you do the same thing and the same thing and the same thing, and you know what? Let's flip the script.
Totally. And let's discover a whole new place.
It really broke up the year.
Totally. Absolutely. Which was a blast, actually.
And before we knew it, we were in a winter rental on Plum Island and our toes in the beach. And it was bizarre and amazing at the same, and we didn't know where we were, and we didn't know anybody.
Yep.
And there wasn't really any avenue to solve that. So we kind of just kept going on, and whatever we could learn about the community and experience from the community we did. And fortunately the numbers around here, they did start to go down sooner than other places, so we could feel we got to reemerge ourselves before we had to reemerge our business into it. So but I mean, the last week has just been a sea change.
I do love I think that's kind of the handbook for handling a pandemic. Just flip your whole life completely upside down and go into whole new places and do things you've never done before. I think that's what you do.
Yeah.
Was there I know if I were doing that, I would have definitely like my mother, probably a few other, maybe a couple friends in my life going, are you sure? Did you
Our friends and our family were so supportive. The hardest part was, we left the Hudson Valley where we've got really close ties, and we haven't been back yet to say, we didn't have a proper goodbye party or anything like that. And so we need to go back and really say bye properly to people. But a few of our friends are already going to rent a house on Plum Island and come and visit us here. So it's
Yeah,
cool too.
I think you should maybe have them visit you. I mean, I know there's beautiful spots out there,
Yeah.
but you got the new exciting place. Very good. Again, we're joined here by Rebecca Fundis and Ben Fundis from the Screening Room in Newburyport. All right, let's move. Let's look ahead now. You've already made some post kind of pandemic changes, although you're being courteous of those who are still being extra safe. Tell me a little bit about that.
Sure.
Yeah, so we're open. We're able to open in Massachusetts at full capacity, which means we can seat 99 people, but we're generally getting about 15 to 40 people per show. If you come to the counter and you tell us you'd like socially distanced seating, we will sell fewer tickets as well, just to make sure that people can have 6 feet of space around them if they want to. And then, so our regular public screenings are pretty normal at this point. You walk in and buy a ticket and go see a movie. But then we are also offering masked matinees for anyone who wants to come to the movies but feels a little more cautious. And we sell those to 25% capacity. We shut down the concession counter for the whole show. And then everyone in the cinema has to keep a mask on for the whole show. And at our other public screenings, if you're fully vaccinated, it's your option whether or not to wear a mask. And if you're not fully vaccinated, then you are required to wear a mask. So yeah.
All right. But the okay, so that's cool. So but the comeback, you do feel as though you feel like people are coming back and they're happy and really not afraid. You're not seeing too much of that.
No, they're joyous. I mean, I wish we could share a photo with you, Ben. I wasn't there the other night, and Ben held up his phone and asked the audience. He's like, everybody say hey to Becca. And he had like 40. It was our first audience with over 40 people, so it was pretty awesome. And it was just this crowd full of people cheering. And no, they're thrilled to be back. They're so happy to be back. And everybody, they have stories about the screening room. They have stories about like the last movie that they saw here or the last movie they saw before the pandemic began. And everybody notes it on the way in. And I think, we're opening with a movie that was, really geared toward this moment. The insights, Lin-Manuel Miranda and the cast have also recorded like a statement that plays before the film that's welcome back to the movies. So this movie it's a festive, vibrant, colorful, just like a totally exuberant welcome back. And people not only feel that moment of coming back to the cinema, but they feel this amazing movie that just like it gives you life and puts you back out in the door, and you have that cinematic experience again. It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I love that. I love that you can't even get through that sentence without smiling. That's fantastic. I love that.
It's a fun show.
The timeline thing, I don't think I quite grasped until I've been thinking about it ever since you said. So you come in July. I imagine like you're trying to open up and do the things you can along the way, and you feel like it's the right thing to do to try to open up here and there for the community. But I wonder, like, I can imagine it hasn't exactly been like a gravy train of like as business owners, you're probably not doing great. Has there been at any times where you've kind of looked at each other and gone, at some point this pandemic's going to end and we'll be normal again, right? I'm sure you've had those moments.
Yeah. Oh, that. And also, I mean, when you were saying that theaters are harder hit than even restaurants, we're crossing our fingers. There was a federal package that passed called the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant Fund, but the SBA was administering the grants, and they haven't approved the majority of them, and the funds have yet to be dispersed. So while we have been able to apply for some aid that could help us this year, because we know we're not going to see numbers, it's not going to be a typical year. And so that's the one thing, you got to cross your fingers and hold your breath a little bit, and also hope for this funding to come through. We're waiting. We've been waiting for months. We applied in January, I think, or we started the application process in January, and we still haven't heard if we're going to get anything. So
that can drain.
You got to have some optimism. I think you got to almost,
I mean, for me, it's looking at the audience that the Screening Room has had since 1982, and feeling their excitement of wanting to be back and now being back. And the happiness that they've communicated to us, it made me feel like I felt from the beginning when we were making this decision that, that that people were going to come back to the movies even maybe a little more or a little differently than they did before. I think before the pandemic, there was streaming services and TVs got bigger and everyone has a sound bar and everything sounds great and looks great. And yeah. But I think the experience of the last year and a half or whatever has really put a priceless quality on experiencing things with other people. And
once you spend a straight year in front of your awesome TV, it's not as cool anymore, right? Get me back.
Yeah, when you've watched Netflix, all of it. It's like, okay.
It is true, right?
It is time to
watch in a pandemic, as they find.
Yeah.
How great is it? You guys know as well as I do that places like the Screening Room do not exist in every community. It's such a it's one of those things where like you drive through downtown Newburyport and it like, okay, it's not your normal big movie theater. Wait, what do we have here? And it stops you in its tracks. That's kind of a cool thing in itself, isn't it?
Totally.
Absolutely.
We love the smallness. People. Some people would say, "Oh, only 99 seats, only one screen," and to us, that's like, that's just this beautiful, simple thing that we can run ourselves with, maybe some help from time to time, but it's something that we can wrap our heads around, where we're not having to constantly crunch numbers and worry about overhead and break-even costs. It's just not the type of people that we are, and if we were those people, we probably wouldn't be in Newburyport right now. So it's a thing so beautiful that it's worth taking a big risk for.
Yeah,
I think.
I like that. That is well said. Where's the love of the movies come from? Did young age? What was it?
Oh yeah, since I can remember, really. I mean,
both of us
always, I always felt like I was making movies in my brain, like looking out the car window as a kid, and then it just sort of went from there.
And Ben is a filmmaker.
I hate that term.
Right. But he
I'm a poet.
studied film,
No.
right. He
No.
studied film at Bard College.
Yeah.
And he's made a documentary and he's worked in television, and now he works on a YouTube show called Acorn to Arabella about these guys who are building their own boat and like milling their own wood to build the boat. And it's pretty awesome.
I'm sort of
he's
surrounded by dreaminess and people chasing their dreams is kind of like what I'm all about right now. So
wow.
Watching these guys that I'm working for now have been building a boat for 5 years and maybe have about 2-3 more years to go. And it's a weekly series, and it's such a fun thing to get to put together. I do the music for it, and it's just super fun.
That's cool. Where can people find it? Easiest way?
Yeah, it's just Acorn to Arabella on YouTube.
All right. The lovely world of YouTube. Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Rebecca Fundis, Ben Fundis, you guys have, I know, a busy night, a busy week ahead of you. We appreciate you so much for taking the time. I wish you all the best as you push forward here. And what I still think we have to say, we hope is a post-pandemic world. I don't think we're 100% there yet, but it definitely feels like we're close. And I wish you guys all the best as we break on out of this thing. We do always end the show with like a minute of rapid fire. First thing that comes to your brain. Are we okay with this?
Okay.
You might struggle with the first one. Favorite movie?
Too hard.
Brazil.
Trust.
Nice.
Maybe you won't struggle with the first one. Okay. Very good. Favorite city in the world that you have not lived in? You have to eliminate Newburyport, New York, all that stuff.
Istanbul.
Ooh, nice. I haven't lived in. I don't know.
Ooh.
No idea.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know.
We can come back to it.
I'm gonna say, yeah.
Favorite theater in the world? Besides yours.
Right.
I went to a really cool one in Morocco called Cinema Ritz. Hang on 1 second.
There was an old one in Nashville called it was the Belmead Theater, and it was the last one in Nashville that had the balconies, and I saw Hunt for Red October. That was their last movie before they turned it into a bookstore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
Cinema Reef. I went to this crazy fun place in Morocco, and it was just
Morocco.
Yeah. Well, it's like there's like all these places that have a different culture where movies just go on and you can kind of walk in at any time.
How often does the theater to bookstore conversion happen?
I don't think very often. It was a weird bookstore.
I would
Sure.
imagine.
It was big.
I would think so. All right, we'll move off movies a little bit. Favorite musician?
Ooh.
Hmm.
Ugh.
I'm gonna just let you answer.
I don't. There's so many. They're all flooding in. Oh man.
I think we're terrible at
So
rapid
not
fire.
terrible at rapid fire.
You wouldn't believe how bad some of the performances have been. You're fine. Can we do favorite concert? You like that one better? Is that sometimes that opens that question up?
Favorite concert I ever went to? My first concert, my dad took me to see Little Feat.
Oh,
And
okay.
so that was fun. But it was just like, oh my gosh. This is what it sounds like. It's so loud.
All right, very good. A little more generic. Favorite foods?
Probably sushi.
Vegetables, everything, really.
Vegetables.
We like food, but
Yeah.
yeah, vegetables.
I'll have it all.
Thinking about what your mom said at Mother's Day.
Beef bourguignon.
I'm thinking of the pick up and move thing in a pandemic. What's the best career advice you ever got from anyone?
Oh, I've ignored so much of that.
That might be the answer. What's the best advice
Yeah.
I've ignored?
Yeah, it's like, don't trust the experts, I think. Like anybody that claims to be an expert, like, out of there.
You like that one, Rebecca, or are we going with something different?
I don't know that anyone's given me career advice.
No one would dare.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, and last but not least, what is the thing that in your relatively short time here that you love about Newburyport that has jumped out at you the most about this city?
Oh my God. The bike trail is
Yeah.
amazing. The parks, we have a kid, the parks are just incredible. We bike to a park and we bike to another park. Love that.
Just the history, the way that it preserves things. Like it preserves a record store. It preserves, it has a thriving local newspaper. It has a movie theater still somehow. That sort of stuff. It's just amazing that Newburyport just
That it tries.
keeps things going.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
that's not a short answer, but
It's okay. They were pretty good for rapid fire. You guys did good. Nicely done. Rebecca Fundis, Ben Fundis, the Screening Room in Newburyport. Go check it out here as soon as you can, and as soon as you're ready to do it. They got all sorts of stuff. What's your most popular night in a normal time? What's going to be the happening night?
we don't know. We haven't even gotten through a whole week yet. But Monday surprised us.
Normally it would be Friday or Saturday night. Saturday night and Sunday afternoon would be like the two biggest shows of the week.
Yep.
And and Mondays are usually, there's a huge drop off and it's really slow. And it was our busiest show of the week.
Is this the post-pandemic world? Is everything going to be changed?
We heard from the person who booked the cinema before that was common in Newburyport.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're curious to find out
I
how.
didn't know that fun little fact. Mondays in Newburyport. Okay.
Yeah, for movies.
That's good to know.
Good.
All right. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure. It was great to meet you here virtually. I look forward to actually meeting you in person. It's been fun. I hope you enjoyed it. This is our little show.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you down the line. Best of luck as you break out of this.
Super.
Thanks.
All right. How great was that? Rebecca Fundis and Ben Fundis. What great people. Great couple. Made a little appearance from, I think they said their son, right, in the background. That was kind of nice. I was hoping, come on, they could come on. It's a family show. But the Screening Room in Newburyport, great spot. Go check it out, especially as we break out of the pandemic. That'll be fantastic. And they're just really nice people. You got to love supporting nice people, right? I know they've been a big part of the community already, doing good things, and I have not heard a bad word about them because they're good people. So that's great to hear. Rebecca Fundis and Ben Fundis, good stuff. Fun to have them on. First time on, we'll have them on again. The Screening Room in Newburyport. This has been Live at Drew's House. Another edition. Hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time, all right? Bye-bye.